the soap in bulk like that, it really is not very expensive. I'm sure that bar is less than $1, maybe even 50 cents as far as the cost that goes into making it.
But you would sell it for
You
how
would
much?
sell it probably for $5.99 or,
Nice.
you know, whatever you can get out of it with that. Especially if you decorate it. You could get more extensive and use more colors with it too. Just depends how fancy you want to be.
So a question from Treehouse Crafts. How hard would it be to make a soap on a rope? Or is that a bonus class?
That is a wonderful idea for a bonus class, a bonus rope. But what you would do really is just have a mold like this, and then just have your rope be right in there. You would just put it right in there and then let it come up at the top, and then pour it in on top like that. So yeah, definitely using the melt and pour is excellent for things that are like this, where it's just going to be one little mold, or using the rope in there too, because you've got a lot of flexibility with the soap. The cold process soap is awesome for using. Like it is my favorite to actually use, but it's a lot more finicky. You can do stuff like this with it, but you have to pay a lot more attention to the thickness of the soap. You're gonna have a lot of different elements that you need to kind of have control over there. So if you want just easy melt and pour is the way to go with that. You can also add some different ingredients to it, maybe a little bit more coconut oil or some shea butter to make it just be a little bit softer when you're actually using the soap. So it will leave a little bit of that oil left over on your skin, so it kind of moisturizes it every time you go to use your bar soap.
The melt and pour is great for instant gratification, basically.
It really is. It really is great for that. All right, this one's a little bit more complex of a shape. If you're having any trouble getting them out, just make sure they're very solidly frozen, and then usually that takes care of it. Because you just don't want to push too hard on the mold and have it damage any of the elements. Okay, that one is just darling too. And so we're going to give her a little bit of gold and a little bit of blue. So I'm going to show you what can be done here. Now it looks like she did get a little bit of the mica that was collected too much, and so what I'd want to do is use a whisk and pay really close attention to that every little bit has been mixed together, because otherwise that can happen. But we kind of do the same thing, same kind of idea, except this time using a little bit of blue. And so you can just look at like the different elements that are in this design and just kind of highlight it. It's kind of fun to use a couple different colors with it too, to add a little bit more interest. You'll find that our eyes like to look at things, and the more you can add that's there to look at, as long as you keep it simple and not overwhelm people with all the detail, it just makes you want to keep looking, and it makes you just really appreciate what you're looking at. So see how we can kind of even just blend these colors together a little bit. The gold is nice to use everywhere. Even in her hair like that too. All right, here's how that one turned out. So that's just such a really simple way you can create something that looks very fancy. Isn't that cute?
Very cute. And I love how the mica just adds that touch to it.
It does. And notice that, like, as far as air bubbles go, it all looks really good. We didn't get any air bubbles in the nose, so like most of the time it's going to work out pretty well. If it doesn't, you just melt it down, pop it back in the microwave, try again. So very, very user-friendly. All right, and another thing I wanted to say before we move on to the body butter is a good thing about these soaps is, like, if you have, say, maybe a favorite lip balm or something that you really like, and just like all of the products that are in the food and drug industry, they have the ingredients written down on them. So you can check the back side of your lip balm, or if it's a soap that you like, and it's not going to give you the recipe, but it will tell you the main ingredients with it. So like with this one, we can see that they've got sunflower seed oil, beeswax, shea butter. Sometimes they'll call these things like shea butter interesting names. Like, I don't know if it's the Latin name or what. This one calls it Bitosberum parkle, and then it has a little star that says shea butter in the side. So you kind of just, if you look up online like what some of these ingredients are, it will usually tell you what the common name for something is. Then there's some essential oil, I can't say it. It's candelilla wax, I guess. And then vitamin E and honey is what's in this one. And so then you would kind of take that as your basic recipe. You're not going to get it exact. You know, everybody has their own formula with things, but you can kind of play